I think why this Shadow Demon is a good 5 here, because it doesn't truly matter that much. All you're playing around is your disruption. You don't need a lot of levels, you don't need a lot of items, you just need to be able to disrupt the Luna. And a position 5 or position 4 Shadow Demon, it doesn't really matter, because once you create those illusions, they're going to kill everything around her, and you're going to be farmed as well. So it's a neat thing to have. But I always have a problem when I see one team go for an Earth Spirit, open with an Earth Spirit, and the other goes for a Shaker.
And it's just Liquid. You seem to be kicking back. I had a feeling you might if another kind of hard carry came up, because you were making valid points about the Luna, Liz. And it was all making sense. These heroes are great against Luna. Those same heroes are not so good against Lone Druid. But
wait, what? How did that go?
The Zoo heroes, baby.
What's happening? Actually, Lycan is pretty strong here. You like Lycan versus Lone Druid. You like Lycan versus Luna as well, because you have all the army that's going to be able to soak in the Zoo, the Lucent Beams. So it's a damn solid Lycan game. It's not like they have any big counters like a Kunkka or I don't know, some axe that's going to be able to call you. So it looks like a pretty solid Lycan game. What are they missing on Team Liquid? I suppose offlane, right? This could be Avenge position 3 too, but unlikely, right?
Yeah, it's I don't think it's your highest priority right now, because I'd say right now what you want on Team Liquid is some sort of big kind of team fight ult to play around, right? Like the things like Mars that we mentioned, of course, that's banned out. Things like Centaur, something that can help you control these fights. Because they do lack that a bit. I mean, don't get me wrong, Earth Spirit, we've seen how flashy that hero can be, but compare it to, for example, a Shaker.
Yep.
You know, who's going to get more done? Who's going to set the Luna up better?
The thing about Taiga and his Earth Spirit is the fact that he doesn't need items, right? All you need is levels. Items definitely do come in handy, but all you need is levels on Earth Spirit, and you're not waiting for this big power spike. You're constantly in the game, you're constantly fighting. Meanwhile, Earthshaker, in the early game, you're kind of good. This fissure might give it away that Queen of Pain is actually offlane. We'll see with their last pick, because Earthshaker plus Queen of Pain is a pretty sick offlane combo too. It's not that great versus Venge Luna though, so maybe they still need the offlane.
That's kind of the rough part, right? Like at level 3 as a Shaker, you want to feel confident about running in and following up the stun, but they've got 2 stuns, they buff each other up. There's no way you can ever really approach them. Maybe you can rotate to the other lanes well, though. Like Lone Druid is potentially vulnerable before level 6, especially. We don't know what the other one's going to be yet from Liquid, though.
Whenever you have a Shaker, you want these heroes that are able to play with him on the offlane, and that benefit from those fissures. And usually those heroes are kind of weak. Usually those heroes are your ranged heroes, such as Squab, and it does look... What do you think? Will this Morphling be mid? Is this no on Morphling?
Could this be... Like, I'm also wondering, Lycan, is that...
Lycan offlane, you're thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking Rezo. I know Rezo plays a decent amount of Lycan, right? Whereas LTW seems more like Morphling's his type of hero. And then you take the co-op mid still. Depends on the final pick, of course. That's the thing. Like, heroes that counter Morph don't necessarily counter the co-op, as an example.
Yeah. But when you're thinking about mid for Team Liquid, you know what it is. It's Lone Druid, so you can bring whoever you want to there. Of course, there's a chance for Team Liquid to switch things up, but Lone Druid should be their midder, and this last pick is their offlane. It's a boxy hero. Batrider, by the way, was a really good ban by VP. They go with
take your pick.
Okay.
Will this actually be Puck? Yeah. Will this actually be the
Puck?
Okay. Yeah. So no one is playing the Morphling. Now, why is Puck good here? It's not only the control that he brings with his ulti, which is obviously really good versus Lycan versus Queen of Pain. He brings a bunch of magical bursts that you can then use versus the Morphling and the Queen of Pain. You can use that silence versus the Morphling if you maybe catch him off guard. So overall, it looks like a solid Puck game. And he does have a bulky Earth Spirit with him on the offlane to protect him all the time from all incoming aggression. So he should have a decent laning stage too.
Also, pretty good Veil game for Team Liquid,
10
right?
seconds to
Like, you look at the
go.
heroes on the side of VP, someone can make struggle to get the BKBs.
5
And whenever you got,
seconds.
like, something like the Earth Spirit in the park, either one of them could go for the Veil, other one could go for the Spirit Vessel,
Yeah.
depending on the priority.
Actually, most players are moving back to the whale. That's so funny because the item was so just abandoned. No one was buying the
Yep.
whale, but you can really see a difference once you get it on a puck or on an Earth Spirit. Your damage output in that fight is just much higher. Plus, the stats from it are also pretty neat. So it's so expensive. That's basically why it's been abandoned. That recipe costs
Like half.
1,150. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's as much as the components, right? And it's just way too much. That's why usually people don't get it. Yeah, Rezo is Queen of Pain, by the way. So it should be your Shaker, Rezo offlane, solo plus ILTW on the safe lane, and no one mid.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see Rez on the Quap. I don't feel like I've seen too much Quap recently, but let's be honest, right? If you're playing your high level pub games, you're probably sneaking in a few Queen of Pain games here and there. Everyone is right now.
One big thing as well that I have to mention is the fact that that Virtus.pro, they're putting their win condition on no one again. LTW is going to be playing this Lycan. That's more sacrificial overall, right? You're pushing, you're going for that Dominator Necros. Meanwhile, no one should be the one that farms, waits for his time, goes Manta or Reblade, and eventually just carries.
But that's not really different from what we've been seeing recently from VP, right? If you actually think, if you break down the recent games, usually the win conditions on either Rezo or no one, yeah. They usually use LTW in this kind of filler role where he can just get involved early. You know, you see things like Bloodseeker, Lycan.
Is it really always like that? I had a feeling it wasn't. I had a feeling like no one was really sacrificed.
I think like they went for an iteration, but usually I didn't feel like it was LTW that they were giving the baton to. It was usually Rezo in the games where that happened. Right? Like, for example, no one was playing Invoker was a perfect example of that. He's just trying to make space, but then Rezo would have that kind of win condition hero. Also makes you wonder what's happened to Kuman, actually. Because I believe he's still signed to Virtus.pro.
I have no idea, but if you want, I'll pull my CIS connections. Hello, brat, привет. I can get these.
Yeah, can you get me an inside scoop, okay?
I can get this info, no problem.
I'm trying to start a Dota blog here. I need
by tomorrow, I'll give you all the gossip, no problem.
Oh. Twitch chat's going to be a bit upset if you don't share that gossip.
Dude, I forgot about Kuman. I forgot that player existed. Even like...
He was such a big deal. Like, just a year ago, everyone was looking at Kuman. They thought, oh, yeah, he's going to be the next big player. And then everyone just switched eyes onto GPK. Like, that is the upcoming player everyone cares about.
High hopes for this one.
GPK is such a drama queen, by the way.
He is.
Not only is he a good player, but he just brings the spotlight on himself so well with all these dramas about Gambit and everything.
But shout out to Kuman. You know, wherever you are, bud. I hope you're well. I hope we get to see you soon. Unless you've gone to start playing League of Legends or you just noticed the avatar character on Smite and switched over, in which case, screw you. Dota's the best MOBA ever. But I assume he's still playing Dotes. I want to know when we're going to get a crossover, actually, with, like, some mainstream. Like, you saw that, right? The whole Avatar announcement for Smite. They've literally got the Nickelodeon character in their game.
I have understood 2 out of 20 words.
I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Let's not get this. I can just see it coming already. You'll suggest some sort of cartoon character no one in the West has heard of. Boxy is getting roughed up a bit by no one.
Boxy is playing mid, by the way. That as well is something we didn't mention. And this should be a good puck lane. I guess that's one of the reasons why they picked puck. I thought that maybe they'll put it mid lane, but I didn't really consider Boxy playing it. Let's see. Boxy did win that tournament.
Boxy. Yeah,
he did win that. Wait, it wasn't a tournament. It was so Dream League Leipzig. Liquid, they made a bet that Boxy is going to win versus the mid laner of some team, of Navi's team. Not Navi.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who, but they made a bet that Boxy will win just before their series, and he won. Like, he won. Was it
Magical?
Yeah, versus Magical. Versus Magical. Yeah. That's who he won against. You're right.
I get what the problem was, Liz. You were getting the new roster of Na'Vi we don't know, and you clearly have the secrets to, confused with the old roster of Na'Vi.
Yeah, I can't reveal my
Your sources.
My sources and these small little things that I know, which are very small and very few.
That's why he keeps them to himself. It makes him feel special. But yeah, I don't think I was too surprised to see Boxy on the park. I think it's maybe a bit more surprised they ran in the mid. But Lone Druid can be pretty potent on the outer lanes, especially when you have some rundown capability. You know, your opponent has a long way to go to safety.
ILTW is also on the offlane here. He's playing versus the Lone Druid, which isn't that easy for him. And Queen of Pain as well on the top lane with Shadow Demon versus Venge and Luna. I don't think Venge and Luna should have a pretty decent lane here. The only problem is that it is the long lane, so it might be a little bit more difficult than if it was safe lane.
That's true.
I'm getting used to saying long lane as well.
I mean, it is keeping it simple. I'll give you that.
It's not even about simplicity. It's just that I really think it's important to emphasize that it's long. That's all.
But it's only long for one team, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's a matter of perspective, Liz. Things that some people might find long, others do not. The top as well, and Insania's being chased down. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Zayat trying to get his deny, but won't. Tiger gets first blood, and then top, Insania's surrounded by a lot of things that are red, and they will spill something red out of him.
Yeah, good block right there from the Shadow Demon and Queen of Pain, getting that disruption right next to the cliff. You don't see too many of those. It used to be so often that players would use disruption and then move two heroes in to get that surround.
In fairness, we used to have much skinnier staircases, right? You remember the ones where you could block with like 2 units?
Yeah, that's true as well.
God, now I'm kind of missing that. You remember it was the Radiant secret shop. There used to be that incredibly thin staircase that you could just stick one person in, you couldn't get by.
And block, yeah, just block just with the wolves or something like that. Like good old Grubby in Warcraft 3, blocking with Farseer and 2 wolves. That was such a play. Insania.
You know, we update to a new generation of Dotes with more fighting in the top lane at least. Insania knows he's going to die, so he tries to set up a kill for them, but instead he's just going to feed over a life for nothing.
So why this wasn't that bad for Liquid is because Mickey already farmed the wave and pushed it in. So it was under the tower of Rezo, and Rezo actually, while that was all happening, lost a couple of last hits, but not too many. And he's actually out-leveling the Luna quite heavily, by a full level.
Yeah, and they have kill potential merely at 6, right? Luna's not the bulkiest of heroes in these early phases.
No. So how you want to play this lane versus Queen of Pain is you want to spam her so much that she needs to ferry a lot of region. But they didn't manage to do that because of Solo and how he played around this Shadow Demon. He constantly drew aggression into himself. It's a really good example of how you should play position 5. Even if you die, it doesn't really matter because your core is just farming away.
I'm liking the sound of this. Run at your opponents and have them click on you, all right? And then you've done your part. We may be simplifying it, but you know, but then again, this has always been the signature thing for Solo, right?
What about attention. Bottom lane?
If there's a route, maybe, but no luck. Zayat's done a good job of making sure any attempt is
and now top
dealt with. Back and forth here, Insania. Oh, they deny.
You know the drill.
Oh, cheeky one there. Top section gold going in the hands of Rezo.
Tower's getting banged up.
Insania has died quite a few times here. 3 deaths already to him, 6 minutes in. It's not an easy lane.
And let's be honest, Liz, isn't that why anyone picks Venge? Because you can always be useful after you're dead.
We were just casting that game of Secret versus Unique, and that Vengeful would do so much after that. It's crazy.
We saw it from Thompson on previous days, especially as well. Like the mid Venges in general are just very potent. Top, Rezo has the Sonic Wave. He'll probably throw it out. Play a little bit of SingStar of Insanity, but he decides, no, you've died enough for the moment.
I think it's
remember this.
Remember when there's an enigma in the game, and just by holding on to that black hole,
True.
sometimes it brings that brooding pressure over the enemy team. I think something like that is happening here to Mickey. He can't really commit, and he can't really go deep to farm because of that fear of Sonic Wave.
Yeah, they've pummeled Insania so much, it's not really a high-value kill at this stage, so you might as well save it for maybe a cheeky rotation, which is what Boxy is on his way to do now.
He also has a ward, so this might just be to ward up the dire jungle, but I think they will try and get a kill off here.
He doesn't want to reveal to the creeps.
So Solo's ward, I believe, was scouted out, but then again, it doesn't matter because you did spot out Boxy, and he might have to go back mid. Morphling is pushing it.
Mid tower.
Yeah, he's returned now.
Insania.
We've seen this before. This is, you know, it's a bit too violent for the viewers at home, as you might see a bit betrayal again.
Denied again.
Betrayal again. And Solo, he should be going down. The raindrop will not be able to tank enough here.
Is it really betrayal? It's a good kind of a betrayal, I guess, right? That's what it is. Betrayal is
kind of betrayal.
But real betrayal is when you try to deny him, but he was about to survive anyway, right? And then you actually kill him.
How often do you view that?
All the time.
I don't blame you. There's something fun about it.
If I see someone with a Shadow Strike, I just run after them.
The best part is when they start screaming for their life. Okay, this is not coming out well into the broadcast, but Zayats is rotating top, and Insania needs to start screaming for his life right now. Not that they're gonna listen anyway.
Deny me, Mickey, deny me.
Rezo's learned his lesson. He's not pressing Q anymore. All in all, though, decent aggression from VP in that top lane. Like, we sort of tempt by Boxy to rotate and shut it down. Is this just like the no double down the other lanes now situation because they have got it warded up so tight on the side of VP?
Dire's bottom towers.
Like maybe, you know, try and push mid, push bot sort of thing.
I think once they see the lone druid on the top lane, which they did already, instantly LTW is going to go out of the jungle and pressure the bot. So you have bottom lane pushed and you have Morphling pushing in mid. I think this is a small win overall for Virtus.pro. They are playing these lanes a little bit better and a little bit faster when it comes to these rotations.
That's true, and you'd expect maybe Liquid to have the slight advantage when it comes to pushing to early towers anyway, but not the case at all.
How can you actually expect that? Because of lone druid, yes, definitely. But you are playing versus Lycan. Yeah, you are playing versus Lycan, so it's kinda, I guess, on a similar level.
I guess the difference is like a Morphling, you don't really think of him as a hero that's going to go anywhere risky, you just wants to farm safe. Whereas a puck can open up tower pushes through gank attempts. Like he was in the mid lane. Now instead, no one is going to die for killing Insania. The chance will come out from Boxy. There's a lot of heroes from VP here. And Boxy may have jumped the gun a little. Sonic Wave through, and that's what you're saving it for.
So they did lose the tier 1 on the top lane, but they will pressure this tier 1 on mid quite heavily as well. They should be able to take this, I think. Even with Taiga trying to delay it a little bit. They're not only taking this, but they're taking bottom lane as well, right? So a couple of really, really good moves from Virtus.pro, man. And what I also liked is, when they saw the lone druid top lane, they didn't stick around, try to defend it. No, Queen of Pain TP's mid to the tier 2. They smoke up and go instantly around the Morphling towards the mid lane. So they're securing, they're trading the tier 1, but they're securing 2 different towers for it.
And it makes sense, right? These two drafts, like, it's similar. Yeah, we could shut down the Lycan. Yeah, you could shut down the lone druids. That's kind of a draw. But you're getting double value that Liquid is. And to be honest, if we compare the heroes, what's the hardest hero to approach on Liquid's side right now? If you try and fight the lone druid, that's where things could go badly. As we've seen, you know, it's not a... I mean, what's the chance to root? I never believe it. 20%? I think that's true.
It depends how good you are with the hero, I would say. If you're really good, like if you're if you're
Quake for, then it's like 60% at least.
If you're a TI winner, you know, like you can root all the time. He roots on your command, actually.
You sneeze in their general direction, ruined.
Yeah.
They've smoked up. with the Root Master himself, but they won't be able to find anyone as VP do retreat to their side of the map.
Yeah, it's an interesting smoke as well. They're pretty much what they're trying or hoping they will find is that one core that usually farms around this area, which should be ILTW. I think they were hoping to find the Lycan.
Well, they gotta find no one, but they can't do it. He's just like, here, let me help you back to your side of the map. Right there, that's a warning if you trespass. It's like, yep, next time I'm gonna have to prosecute. But this time you just go home.
That situation there is when you're talking smack, but you're telling your friend to hold you, you know, like, hold me, hold me.
Why aren't you holding me tighter? Come on, get Liz here. Alright, bot lane. Insania, he's pumping it. However, they ain't gonna fall for it. They realize that they have control, and Quickfor is not in control of the situation at all as he melts. Insania will look to escape and just about make it. Meanwhile, in the mid.
No one.
Yep. Oh, nice bad out. That's what he was doing, Liz. The first one was warming up. It's just he needed Boxy to have the call. And he was there the second time.
And it was so easy for them as well. On the bottom lane, you had to use the Sonic Wave, the Echo, right? The Lycan form. You used 3 big ultis. On the mid lane, yeah, you did commit Dream Call, but that's it. Dream Call and a Sentry is all you needed to kill possibly the best hero to kill right now.
That's true. I mean, it did cost Tiger 100 mana. Very expensive. Although the damage on this tier 2 bot might end up becoming a little bit expensive if they hang around here. You can already see the Liquid are moving across. A certain Master of Bears does want some vengeance, and he might be able to find it. The Vengeful Spirit itself is being overwhelmed by the Zoo. They'll have to turn around and fight now. Solo does get out the Purge, and Earth Spirit will look to make his escape. Rolls out just in time. No one could not block it. And they will get the kill on the Shadow Demon in the meantime. Chase through, looking for a kill. Venge is low. Insania, he says, don't deny me. I'm fine this time. Please don't do it. But Quickfor, he's winding up that arm. They'll let him live.
Yeah, he should survive this time around. Yeah, he was very close to dying, but because of having those tangos in his inventory, he actually survives. But man, do you see a level on Insania? He actually just got level 5.
He did. 14. He's a sad boy.
14 minutes in, he just got his level 5.
Well, I mean, this may have been the strategy, Liz. You know, he dies that much that, as you said, he even had tangos in his inventory. If he'd had a proper lane, he probably would have died there. All right, that's a lie. He would have been protected by the regen from the tier 2 tower, but
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's ever the plan to be level 4 15 minutes in, 14 minutes in. That's rough. They will give him some space on this bottom lane so he can recover. But why I'm so worried for him is because this whole lineup of theirs really relies on Vengeful Spirit to have Vengeance Sora maxed out and Wave of Terror maxed out as soon as possible. It benefits them quite a lot, but...
And they have heroes that really want those swaps available, right? You might need to save the Luna. Then you've got the Snap potential. Yeah, you already have 2 heroes that can Snap Coil, but you want all options on the table. I guess that's something go ahead. I was just going to say, it's something we haven't highlighted to the extreme, is that they have a way of potentially snapping every single coil if they 5-man call VP with their heroes.
So it's only Luna that can't snap it. Everyone else can. And Luna is eventually going to get that pike as well, so she'll be able to do it too.
You can see why they gave priority in the mid lane. It wasn't just a good hit against the Morphling on the lane. It's just, it really is your game changer in this situation.
Dire structures looking
Look what they're trying to change the gold exchange a little bit here as they push it on the mid, but it's a tough one. They have to go and address the Lycan factor in the bot lane as he's already approaching the high ground.
He's creating so much space. He's making so much pressure on this bottom lane that... Oh, he's actually using 4.
Yep, he used his spells. That was actually a smart move by LTW. You can just walk it off now, and it'll force multiple heroes back.
I mean, the cooldown exchange isn't that great for LTW because his cooldown is definitely longer. But what happens across the map is good for him because he's literally forcing all of the Liquid inside their base. You have Puck and 2 supports there. So...
yeah, it's space, especially for no one, to just continue to farm, right? Like, now he's got the Manta style available. He's less susceptible to the Puck and Earth Spirit ganks. And there might be more ganks coming.
And if you look at if you look at the mid lane, Shadow Demon is just constantly using disruptions onto the Morphling illusions, his Manta illusions, and because of that, the lane is constantly outpushed, but he might be in problems here.
Not looking. Not quite close enough. Got the Blink Dagger coming off cooldown. Boxy could go boldly forward, but decides against it. He's waiting until he has vision. That does secure the tier 1 tower, though. It just seems like Liquid, they realize that they keep getting pulled to each side of the map. They're not going to achieve anything, so they just start to move together. And they'll move towards top. They will continue pursuing solo, and they'll be able to get that kill. And now they can just shift Lone Druid up here to push on to a tier 2.
They were chasing him for such a long time. On the bottom lane, Necros are about to expire, so LTW won't really be able to push this way too longer.
No, there's not much to gain there anymore. And it looks like they're just going to stick the Luna back anyway, because she could do with this farm, right? They don't need the Luna there to push these towers.
Yeah, and he's actually getting a BKB next on Mickey, so it's a build that can be good because he's playing with a Vengeful. Usually this kind of a build is a little bit damage lacking, but when you have a Venge on your team, it's fine.
Ooh, speaking of damage, no one's got a DD. So you might see VP look for a Roche opportunity soon. They definitely have the damage to bring it down if they get a pick. Question is, what's the most important one? I'd imagine if you can find Puck, which is a hard ask, if you can get rid of that hero, you could easily just walk into the pit and get an Aegis.
Mid lane.
Zoning roll in by Tiger, and he'll just try and zone himself out now, but moving away. Actually, they block it, so the Magnetize is going to begin, and zYat might tick down. It's going to be close. There's the Dream Call. They find the kill on Luna in the bot lane in the meantime, but now they're fighting the mid. There's going to be reinforcements come. They've used the shapeshift VP and moving across quickly, and it looks like Liquid need to get out fast. They get 2 for the price of 1, but that might not be the final meal of the night. As Tiger, he tries to buy time. He tries to keep LTW busy, but the roll through is going to connect on Insania as well, and both the supports will die alongside their Luna in different areas of the map.
That's the betrayal right there. That swap is what you call a betrayal. Tiger was so nice to him, denied him when necessary, took care of him, but Insania, that wasn't the play. That swap wasn't the play.
Oh, look at this play. VP straight into the pit. This is not taking long at all. They're going to try and move in, but they're going to be too late. Boxy is just looking for the easy kills. They'll clean up Shadow Demon, but no one is so tanky and still has that DD. Instead, they'll have to back away. No, Boxy, I said back away. No, back away. All right, that's a little bit tight, but it works.
Nerezo, he knows.
He looked the wrong way.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
You don't. Like, think about the angles, Liz. What is the chances on average? Like 1 in 8 that you hit the Sonic wave from there?
Yeah, it was very difficult. You don't whip it out that.
I mean, it would have been style points. I'll give him that, but not worth the cooldown if you miss.
So a couple of good plays from Liquid, also a couple of bad ones. Luna died on the bottom lane while all the mess was happening mid, so that BKB is delayed a little bit. Also, just that swap on Earth Spirit killed both of them. Taiga was quite alright, and because of that, they pretty much lose Roshan. Insania was also forced to buy back, which didn't really lead into anything good for them. So Virtus.pro looking much better than yesterday, and Shaker does have a dagger completed now.
Most definitely. I mean, that's the other thing to highlight. This is all pre-dagger. Now they're ready to rock and roll. You know, I feel a bit bad for Insania because now with that buyback situation, when he dies, he's going to have a real respawn time at this point in the game.
Look at the smoke. Look at the smoke towards top.
They're stabbing forward. No one ready to lead the way. Tiger is not the optimal target, as he will just do exactly that every time you try, and Zayas can't stop him either. He could help him though.
You can't really.
There's nothing you can do there.
Yeah. That fissure needs to be just as he's about to roll, and then maybe you can kill him off before the next roll comes
Radiant's top tower is hurt.
It'll be their failed attempt, and that should be obvious that there is a blink dagger, as I believe Zayat was in vision when he used the fissure after he blinked forward.
In bad shape.
They'll go again.
Yep.
If at first you don't succeed, just keep running at them. Divide, daughter. I know Quake's in the neighborhood because why else would the bear be here, silly? No one. Straight in with the waveform on Mike. Mike has to retreat, and Insania, he just wants out. Oh, jump in, Echo Slam, beautifully done in the Spirit to get him away, but Mike, he's in trouble because LTW moves in. Sonic Wave down and Luna down with it. And Quake chased onto. Benj is dead. They're tasting in the base. This lone druid does not look tanky, even in his true form. Apparently his true form is Kaz. He just keeps trying to run away. Now the roots turn around. The bear is keeping his owner alive and killing off the Quap in the meantime. The Dream Coil coming out and now Lycan in a lot of trouble as well. LTW trying to retreat. They'll try and kill off the bear, which means they can't finish the Lycan. They actually might give some gold over to no one as he gets 300 killing off the lone druid's bear. Now they need to retreat. Clean out, and then they feel good about this fight. And it looks like they will be able to get out. No contest coming from Liquid.
And no reason for Virtus.pro to commit any longer. The Wolf form is on 50 seconds of a cooldown. No one. He still has Aegis for 2 extra minutes, so you can wait the Queen of Pain and the big ultis and then go again. It's really hard to play Lone Druid in this game because there's so many heroes that get on top of you. Koikva, I honestly believe that he's the best Lone Druid player right now in the world, and that Liquid are the best team when they play with that hero, but this is really not an easy game for him.
No, I think the only team we've really seen kind of give it to Liquid so brutally like this, like, you know, basically stick him over your knee and give him a good scene to is probably Secret, right?
Yeah.
When they had the Lone Druid, that's the only one.
Yeah, Secret let them have the Lone Druid and then they own them anyway, so... But that's Secret. It's hard. It's hard to talk about that.
Oh no, Boxy used the combo, now he's in trouble. He can blink away. Luckily, the bear was there to scare him away, but now the jump, and he goes deep. Morphling, a bit greedy. With the Manta to try and escape, he's able to morph up and retreat. The roots are not on Quick's side today, as he can't stop the Morphling from getting away.
Puck pretty much got the best possible neutral item as well. He got the Nether Shawl on tier 2. It's a lot of magical damage added to his spells, but also that magic resistance is really good this game for him.
Yeah, and his next item is going to be pretty handy as well. He's going for the Ags next. It seems like VP are expecting this because he hasn't bought an item in a while, and they don't plan to go BKBs anytime soon if you look at their heroes.
Another bear died mid, so Koikwa will be without it, but just for an extra 5 seconds. He should be fine. And Aegis will be reclaimed in around 15 seconds. We should see Liquid probably doing something with that because BKB has arrived to Mickey.
Yeah, I mean, in the meantime, Boxy's just dragging the attention of VP far away from Mike. They're still actually chasing this. I thought we learned a few years ago you did not chase pucks.
Especially if you don't have an Orchid on Queen of Pain. This is the thing, though. This Queen of Pain is obviously your position 3. And because of that, he has a mech. He's going for Greaves. And all that leads into... this puck just having the freest time of his life, and Boxy, he actually has an Aghanims completed now too.
There it is. No buyback. He's fully committed with this, and the smoke comes out straight away. They were not under vision, they were just outside of it. That was close.
Smoke on smoke.
They're going to collide, and Sania leads the way, and now Mike going in. The clip's going to be activated straight away. Shaker is the first target. He's going to be brought down. The swap to snap the call on the Queen of Pain, but the purge is out to Mike, and he has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. No one is just going to click into him straight away. In the meantime, LTW try to go deeper, and as a result, the Magnetize might just tick him out, but it's not enough. He's going to live through it. He's going to survive it. Now no one. He's going to get low, but the Echo Slam dodged out as Boxy moves away, and Quick, but trying to retreat. He has no bear to protect him. He had to go in with the Savage Roar to save the day, but no one is left to save him. From living, that is, as no one is just going to turn around and bring him down, dead for 50. They'll make their escape. They got what they came for.
No one looks very angry. It looks like one of those days, you know, from the old VP in which he's just creating so much space on his own and really carrying. In this last engagement, Solo did a lot as well with the Purge on the Luna. It was a great engagement from Liquid, really. They're behind, they understand it, but they engage really well with the puck jumping in with that Aghanims Dream Coil. The swap on the Quap was there as well to get her out of it, to snap the coil. Lycan almost died too, you called that really well. Earth Spirit, I believe he survived on 30 HP.
30 to 50 because he kept regenning up. That was my favorite part, was when he just... and they got to kill Morphin, big one by the way. I think my favorite part was when Lycan just ran past no one. He's like, your turn buddy, I'm tapping you in. And the man himself just got brought down, and it looked pretty casual from Liquid. They're not done though. They're hunting on his eyes. He can't blink because of that urn, and they might find him just before the tick stop. There it is. Tiger, he plays Shaker. He knows how any hero runs when they're trying to run away from a spirit. And look at this. Ooh, can they get the root? Nah, no roots.
Top lane is just the Necros that Koikpai is clearing. He's actually found quite a bit of farm recently as well. He's moving towards that Basher. That Basher can help out a lot too in this game.
We talked about it before, right? In the draft, is that I mean, even with this Lycan here, it definitely is starting to feel like kind of a 4-1 protection, because we saw in that last fight, Morph's doing all the hard hitting, Lycan's there to just break up the fight. But if you get to this super late game scenario, you're talking about a Lone Druid and a Luna.
Yeah, it won't be easy, but you are playing on the other side with Lycan and Morphling, so it's kind of even, I would say. The only thing is, LTW did build this full utility kind of a build. Well, let's not say full utility. He has a Pipe and a Vlad, and that's kind of unorthodox right now. Usually you go Helm of Dominator, Necros, and then you build into either AC or damage, BKB. But I really like this build, because he does have his Morphling as the prime damage dealer too.
Exactly. While Liquid, they're kind of divvying it up, right? The Luna and the Lone Druid are all in on this right-click build.
A really good item, Paladin Sword for the Luna as well. It's just one of the best for her to have.
Yeah, and they were lacking a utility hero that's building that type of lifesteal pipe that Lycan has as well. That's the other thing, so every little helps in terms of lifesteal for this Luna right now.
Yeah, you can see that even Earth Spirit is going for a BKB next, so they're just trying to get all of these items that will keep them up and alive for as long as possible. BKB also versus Shaker obviously is really good.
Tower could use a little help.
The only problem for
the
only problem for Mickey here in this game is that his BKB needs to be used very early. If he doesn't, it will get disrupted, and then this Luna brings as much problems to this team as to the other one.
Luna's leading the way here into the high ground. They see Rezo. They'll silence them up straight away, and they'll actually fan towards his team, because Dreamcore's going to come out right now. One of them's going to snap it as they try to move Solo further away, and the swap out as Quattro in range. He gets out just in time. Now the Echo Slam, turn around on Amike. He's still with the BKB. He hasn't used it just yet. The Disruptor's going to come out. They've lost two on the side of Liquid already, and there it is. BKB, the Eclipse. But there's just too many units here. He cannot fight up against LTW. The Bear might be a different matter, though. Nice E-Blade save coming out from no one, and now he'll chase it on forward towards Koikba as he morphs into the Earth Spirit, ensuring that Lone Druid cannot escape. And on the back line, Boxy, he's buying time, but I'm not sure what you're buying it for anymore. He'll TP away eventually, but look at your base. VP are coming.
Yeah, they're pushing in, and Liquid, that fight, I'll just put it this way, it wasn't perfect. The execution was not on their standard, really. What they did there was pretty awkward. They jump on the Queen of Pain, and instead of instantly using Coil and Swap to keep her locked down enough to kill her off, they kick her. They kick her to her team, and then they use the Coil over there, which was actually beneficial for VP.
It was, and as no one just said, they are a bit in over their head as they'll take out another hero and take out some more buildings alongside it. Virtus.pro, they won't leave with anything less than Mega Creeps. You've got one fight left, but even then, it's going to be without an Eclipse. It's not going to be easy. Shapeshift. LCW will bat him in. Magic Missile comes out as well, but he's so goddamn tanky. They might be able to get through him if it wasn't the Disruptor coming out for Solo. And now Tiger himself in a lot of trouble. The swap to try and break up the fight a bit more. And Insania is broken away from his team, which means he might be in trouble. Loosen Beam to try and help. Mike can't stand up against no one, and no one will continue to go even deeper. Insania will finally go down. Tiger's trying to buy some time, but it's looking like it might all be over. But they get the big kill just in time, and that will force VP out, but not before they get the last of the racks.
Okay, you are playing versus Megas, but you are Liquid, and you do have Luna and the Lone Druid, so defending shouldn't be that hard. But man, Liquid, they've made some really critical mistakes that are very uncharacteristic for them in these last couple of fights.
And that's the thing, right? Like, I don't want to trivialize it, but we've seen the combo before. We've seen that kind of, you know, fear snap coil in an AoE, and you just think, oh yeah, just get the Lone Druid in deep. But it always feels like the heroes are a bit more spread, I want to say, than we're used to seeing Liquid's formations when they enter a team fight. And VP just seems to be able to capitalize.
There is Echo for the pit, by the way.
He's moving straight in. There it is. Echo Slam straight away. Luna brought low. She's dead. 75 seconds without her. Well played coming out from no one quite appropriately, and Quickford just has to retreat from the pit. And look at that. Virtus.pro says, thank you very much. What you start, we'll finish, but not before we finish you. They'll chase forward onto Quake, but they see the throat, and they'll look to cut it as they want to end this and ensure that Liquid cannot come back into it.
That's 4 in a row.
He's got no buyback, he didn't have a TP,
GG.
That's GG. Yeah, I actually love the attempt from Liquid to go for Rosh. That was very brave, but also very optimistic, because when you're playing versus Megas and no one is showing on the lanes, VP, they know something's up, right? Because the lanes are pushing in, they're getting closer and closer to their throne, to their side of the map, and no one is defending. Okay, guys, what's up? They're either smoked, trying to get some meaningless pick-off, or they're actually trying to rush, which they were. I'm actually very surprised by Virtus.pro and their performance, because last few days they've been pretty bad, and this has been much better. They look like a team that has a plan and they execute it well. Also, they did play like. That's also something. This hero is, you know, maybe you want to ban it out. I'm not saying he carried, but he did make a massive difference in this game.
I mean, at the same time, Liz, Team Liquid, they got Venge and Luna. And they got their signature lone druid, right? So let's not take it away from VP. I mean, you said they're looking pretty rough recently. It was only the last two. They were just only playing yesterday. But the difference, I think that's the thing to highlight, between just yesterday and the start of this series, it doesn't seem like the same teams.
Also, what happened to Insania there and their combo? Insania, Taiga, Boxy, they weren't really on point. This last fight that they lost around the high ground, the high ground in the jungle was so awkward. When they initiate on Rezo, I think they lost the game right there. Okay, the mid one as well, the fight around mid lane when they just got the BKB and Aghanim's on pack could have been done a bit better. But this second one was so riddled with problems and miscommunication. Taiga with the kick, then the ulti from Boxy somewhere far away where Luna can't hit, then the swap, and then they don't even kill the Queen of Pain. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the next game, because this, I thought it's going to be an easy 2-0 for Liquid, but it looks like it will have a very interesting series.
No, well, I think that last fight, you hit on something before that was really important as well. It's like they were trying to budget their BKBs. It's like it comes out so late that Mike can't do anything anymore. And, you know, it should have been easy to find these snap calls. Like, you can see their draft is designed around that whole concept. Snap a call, pick that person off. But at that point in the game, credit to Virtus.pro, they've taken so much control of the map, so much control of the game, that even a kill on something which should be simple like a Queen of Pain is not that straightforward. And as a result, Virtus.pro open up with a much-needed Game 1 victory over Liquid. They need to continue this, though. If they manage to 2-0, they'll get 3 points. And right now, they need every point they can get, because they've only got 3 series left, and they have 0 points to their name so far. Finally, 1 under their belt. Let's see if they can get a series, or if Team Liquid is going to solidify their lead at the top and surpass Fly to Moon out of the group stage for Group B.